Hey, yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Jay Nutty. And in some more crazy hood news, it looks like Gonzoe, LA rapper, LA legend, he worked with the likes of Tupac. Tupac gave him that nickname, Gonzoe. He was a part of the Outlaws. Before that, he was working with Ice Cube. He was a part of a group called Caution. Now, if you're a hip-hop head, especially from the West Coast, then you know who exactly I'm talking about. He was unfortunately gunned down earlier today in Seattle, and he ended up dying. All right? He got 3 slugs to the chest, and his homeboy Bosco, they recently got into a celebrity boxing match. Now, they didn't like each other at all, but once they boxed and got to know each other, they became to be really cool-ass homies. So Bosco said they spoke every day, and his homie called him after this happened, Gonzoe's homie, and he said the story goes a little something like this. Gonzoe had some studio time up in Seattle. He said, I'm going to go hit up the bowling alley because that's where the poppin' chicken is at. And that's where the best chicken's at. So he goes to the bowling alley. While over there, he has a confrontation with somebody. I don't know if it's one guy or 2 guys. I don't know if he stepped on their shoe or if he cut them in line or vice versa. But something happened. They got into a confrontation. He ends up getting his chicken. He takes off in his whip. Dudes end up following him and blasting up his ride, shooting him 3 times in the chest. He was able to pull over, get off at a gas station. He tried to run inside to get him some help, and he ended up collapsing right before he opened the door, and he ended up dying. Now, if you don't get anything from this, what I want you to get, especially you youngsters, us as Hispanics and blacks and minorities as a whole, when we're young, majority of us are taught not to be a punk, not to be a sissy. If someone does something to you, you better go get them back. If somebody looks at you crazy or they want beef, you better bring it to them. If you're in school and someone does something, you better protect yourself. Now, I agree, protecting yourself is one thing, but if someone's dogging you, if someone accidentally bumps into you, I was always taught like, fucking, let's do it. But that's not the way, bruh. You're not a sissy, you're not a punk. It's not always about the macho shit. Because that turns into somebody dying real quick. As you see, Gonzoe is not here anymore because he got into an argument with somebody at a fucking bowling alley. It was probably over the dumbest shit, too. Probably skipped him in line. Probably scuffed his shoe. Probably accidentally bumped into each other. And, hey, what's up, man? Fuck you, man. All right, then. Pulls up and kills him, bruh. So, think about before you do shit. Think before you're driving, someone cuts you off, and you honk at them. Because the chances of you honking at that person and him pulling out a strap and blasting your ass is very high. And it happens all the damn time. So think about it. Is it really worth all the shit that's going to come with it? Even if you are strapped and you say, I don't give a fuck, I'm strapped, I'm ready. Is it worth you defending yourself, end up killing the person, going to court for 1-2 years, and still end up getting 10 years for manslaughter? Is it worth it? Or could you have just gone back and say, you know what? I shouldn't have honked at the dude. You know what? He scuffed my shoe. I could buy 20 more pairs tomorrow if I wanted. Who gives a fuck? You know what? We bumped into each other on accident. I should have just said, my bad, bro. I ain't being a punk. You're being the bigger man. They say it takes a bigger man to walk away. A bigger man to turn the other cheek. And it's true. Because when you bump into somebody and you pull out a gun and shoot them, it's easy to shoot them. It's easy to start scrapping because that's what we know. But you know what's hard? To say, my bad, bro, and walk away. Or what's hard is to turn the other cheek and just forget about it. That's hard. But that's called maturing and being the bigger person, because not everything is about life or death, bro. And especially something so minor as getting into an argument in a bowling alley could end into somebody being murdered in cold blood, shot to death. It just blows my mind, bruh. So this goes for, everybody think before you act. And if someone's acting stupid and goofy, and you have every right to say something or do something, you better think about what you're going to do, because you don't know what they're going to do. You can't control what they're going to do. You can't control their reaction to your action. Every action has a reaction. So if you're at a store and someone bumps into you and then he just mad dogs you like he don't give a fuck and it was his fault, you have the choice to just let that go, or you could say, you know what, bitch? Hey, man, well, you ain't going to say nothing about that. And then who knows? He could have a strap. He could have a knife. He might say, my bad, or he might pull out a knife and stab you in the neck. But you could have easily just turned that shit down, walked away, not said anything, but you decided to open your mouth or to defend yourself, and it's not always that serious is where I'm getting at. So just remember that in the long run, if you don't get nothing from Gonzoe's murder, you should get that the littlest shit can turn into the biggest ordeal, and now this dude's gonna be on the run. He's probably, people hunting him down now. Gonzoe was a big name in LA, bro. He ain't just gonna, people ain't gonna just let this shit slide. They're calling their Seattle folks. They're trying to figure this shit out. And God forbid this dude brags, which y'all know he's gonna do. Oh yeah, I got that dude. Someone's gonna give him up because they're gonna put a bounty on his head. And then he's gonna end up dead or end up in jail. So it's like, you guys did it to each other, bro. You did it to yourself. Be smarter, think. Give yourself 5 seconds, 5 minutes. Think about this. Is it really going to be worth me spending the rest of my life in prison? Is it really worth me not seeing my family for the next 25 years? Is it worth me not seeing my children grow up? Is it worth my wife and me getting a divorce and her getting with some other guy and he ends up raising my kids? Do you want that to happen? If you do, then keep doing what you're doing. If you don't, you have to change for the better. Mature. Alright? It's your boy Jay Nutty. Just can't. It's just wild, bro. Over a fucking argument at a bowling alley. I'm out of here. Don't forget to subscribe. Doses.